Well, how's it going, everyone? Another day and another opportunity to be uncomfortable. Intentional suffering is what we're about to do. I'm about to dip myself into a bath filled with cold water. Because as I go in there, I'm going to have a deep, philosophical, or even just a conversation with you about what's going on in my head, or we could just have a discussion. But as you can see, the tub is empty, so we're going to go ahead and fill it up, and then we're going to go in. I should do this first, right? Oops. Okay, there we go. Now let's let her fill up. All right, everyone. Truth be told, it's been about an hour and a half since I started filling up the bathtub. And here's the embarrassing thing. Once I filled it up, because I was busy doing some other tasks, I went to check up on it, right? And it was a little warmer than I would have liked. And I didn't want to just drain everything and start over again because that's a lot of water. So instead, I decided to go on a ruck with my dogs, and we went walking for an hour and a half. My face is red, I'm hot, it's super humid outside, and now let's see if the water had some time to cool down. Yes, now it's finally cold enough for me. I don't have ice or anything like that in my fridge. I wish I could have just thrown that in here, but I guess hindsight is 2020. I guess going forward, I should freeze some water bottles in the freezer so that if that ever happens again, I can just toss those in and just make it ice cold. But anyways, I'm procrastinating. Even though I'm hot, I still don't want to get into a bath full of cold water. Like, I feel like that's exactly when you would want to, but I just don't like it. I love taking warm, hot baths, and anyways, today's topic is going to be a deep one. It's something that I've been reflecting on, journaling, and just thinking about for a while. So I'm hoping that it would resonate with someone out there. I'm going to be referring to a sticky note, just in case I forget some of the stuff that I want to talk about. I wonder if I have any bruises on my shoulders from the ruck. Right now I'm using 75 pounds, and it sounds pretty lightweight, doesn't it? When you start walking around with 75 pounds on your back for a few miles, yeah, you feel that burden. But anyways, enough talking, let's get in here and then I'll resume the talking. Oh yeah, now we're talking. It truly never gets any easier, never. You would think because it's my fourth time doing it this year, this series, it would get better, but no. First, I want to get in, and then we'll talk about the topic of the day. My mind just went blank. I'm so uncomfortable. I forgot what it is we're talking about. Sorry. Oh, okay. So, all right. It reminded me. So, it's as if just last week I turned 21 years old. I still remember turning 21 very vividly because my friends took me out of barracks. You know, I went to a military college and I got to celebrate turning 21 in a normal college town environment. And this year I'm 33, you know? And just in a blink of an eye, just time flew by. You know, when you're younger, you feel like you have all this time. Like, oh, this is taking too long. I can't wait to graduate or to do that. Oh, I just need this to go by, and we take it for granted. We don't capitalize and maximize the opportunity that we had at that moment to just be a kid, to just be a student, to just be at your first job, to just be a newlywed, to just be a good coworker, that initial honeymoon phase. We just take it for granted. And I'm so guilty, right? Like, my entire life, that's the way that I've been living. And Oh, I want to mention that. Now that I'm 33, I'm not getting any younger, right? Like when we're young, we just feel like we have an abundance of time. But guys, I've already lived a little less than half of my life, right? And it's like, it's humbling to think that I have such a toxic framework and a perspective of I'm going to live my life after this, or when I get to this, or once I get through this, then I'm going to live my life. And it's so bad. I don't know if you can relate to me on this or not, but it's like, it could be something so small as in like, once the thing that I ordered from Amazon gets here, then I'll start living my life. Or once I graduate from high school, I'll start living my life. And then it turned into the next progression of, okay, once I graduate college, then I'll start living my life. Once I meet the one, then I'll start living my life. Once I get my first job, then I'll start living my life. But everything in between, take it for granted. You don't appreciate the moments. There's no such thing as mindfulness. The present tense, no sir, you're living in the future tense because you're always striving and shooting and sprinting towards the next thing. And so whatever's right here, you just take it for granted. And I was reflecting on this the other day, and I just realized I hurt so many people in the past, and I hurt myself ultimately because I took it for granted and I didn't cherish what I've had, and I was selfish, right? And I don't understand why I lived so much for the future while not appreciating the present tense to just enjoy the day. Like when I was at college, I remember just grinding in the library, studying and working on my projects and homework, and always telling myself, oh, I'll start living after I graduate with honors, right? And so that's the motivation that I had at the time. And, about 3 years of doing that, I just feel like I could have done more and enjoyed my college days some more. I mean, despite being at a military college, I could have maximized the friendships and enjoyed more extracurricular activities, but I prioritized the future so much. I got to get an A on this test. I got to get a 4.0, like that's the name of the game. And then once I graduated, that happiness hit, like a dopamine slap to the face for a good 20 minutes. And then when I went to bed that night after graduation, I woke up, it was just the same again. Now it was, what's the next big thing, right? I'll be happy, or I'll start living my life after I get to this, or after I finish this. And it's just like, I don't know why I'm like that. So I guess that's my question to you. When are you going to start living your life? You're not getting any younger. Despite what your circumstances or situation is right now, I mean, what's stopping you from, appreciating the little things, to adopt a mindset of gratitude, to actually enjoy your day, or to design your schedule in a way where you can actually enjoy a little bit of it? If you're always just grinding it out and just shooting for the next goal or metric or benchmark, your youth is fleeting, it's leaving. You're never going to be 40 years old again. You're never going to be 20 years old again. You're never going to be 60 ever again. And someone watching this right now, I need to have some perspective, because they're probably watching this, hearing this from a 33-year-old, and I'm like, bro, you're a baby. They might be like 45 or 65 or even 85. But I think the message is still there, and it's still true. When are we going to start living our life? Is it always going to be, 5 years from now after I hit this goal, or 2 weeks from now once that order gets in? Like, no, we make up so many excuses and we deprive ourselves of life itself. Life, one of the purposes of our life is to enjoy it, right? And when we live our lives always waiting for the next thing in order to enjoy it, we never truly live. We just waste our life away until that next thing. So it's something that, hit me pretty hard and made me realize I need to wake up. And, as of late last year, I actually started to come to terms that I failed. I didn't achieve my dreams. I'm not where I thought I would be at my age against my peers, or in comparison to people that have the same accomplishments that I have. I'm not anywhere near the totem pole of success. I'm a failure, I'm a quitter, I'm a whiner, I hurt people, I'm deceitful, I'm selfish, I'm greedy. I came to terms with all of that, and then I realized, so what's next? Right? Are you going to live your life always feeling this guilt, always hurting other people and being selfish, or are you going to do something about it? And so I started designing my life in a way where I'm continuously questioning my motives and my actions and trying to improve and trying to become a better person, right? Be better, do better. That's literally my life motto. Be better internally and do better. What can I do better for others and in the community? And as I started embracing that way of thinking, I started to finally enjoy my life. Despite what it is, like right now I work at a minimum wage job. Despite my reality, I have designed my life in a way where I can still accept reality and enjoy the present tense. And that's hard to say, because in the past, 10 years ago, if you told me that I was working a minimum wage job and I'm happy, I would have been so mad. I would have been so angry. I was naive, young, and immature back then, where titles, salary, prestige, and moving up the ladder were my motives. That's what propelled me. And now that I'm older, I realize none of that even matters. If you have a roof over your head and you have enough food and you have peace in your life and you're able to find happiness on a day-to-day level and you have a good relationship or two, I'm not saying you need 20 or 30 friends. If you have at least one person in your life, or if you're not even a people person and you have that solitude and you're by yourself but you have peace and calmness, that's a blessing in itself. So, I don't know. I guess the point of this video was, initially, what are you waiting for in order to start living your life, to more of a confession to you, that's the reality of what my life looks like today. I didn't pan out to be the next big thing. I didn't even get that promotion that I wanted. I'm not anyone that I thought I was going to be when I was 18 or even 22 or even 24. I'm not. But I found peace and happiness, and I'm actually learning what it is to live my life and to enjoy the present moment, despite, not having the riches or the looks or the fame. Like right now, this video is lucky to get, 20, 30 views? In the past, I would have been so upset, dwelling, reflecting, what could I have done better? Should I have been more funny? Should I have done this? Never satisfied. And I think those mindsets and perspectives are good for certain aspects, at a time or a place. But to have that mentality 24/7 was really unhealthy for me. But right now, I know I'm going to spend some time editing this to get 20, 30 views. Fine, happy with me. Because I'm imagining 20, 30 people in a room with me, just chilling, watching, or just hanging out with me. That's a lot, right? Social media has warped our perspectives to think we need 2 million views to be a success on YouTube. But think about it. If you were giving a presentation to 20 or 30 people, that's a lot of people in a room. Anyways, I'm not where I need to be. I'm not who I want to be yet, but I'm learning how to live my life. So my question to you is, are you living your life? Let me know. And I'll talk to you next time. I'm going to get out. I'm freezing, but I'm emotional, but also in this deep philosophical state. So I guess that's what allowed me to stay in the cold longer than usual.